Hi, UPSC Civil Services Mains Exam 2025 is almost at its end. Half of it is over. It began with, as usual, essay paper. I hope those who have appeared in 2025 mains have felt happy seeing the paper, and those who are getting ready for exam in the coming years are looking into the essay topics to understand how UPSC is framing essay topics and whether they feel comfortable to see the topics and feel inspired. There are certain things happen with UPSC essay paper. Last around 5, 6, 7 years, essay paper is giving a bit trouble because the way topics are given, are chosen, did not give absolute comfort zone for the aspirants. Therefore, they sometimes felt comfortable, sometimes not. Along with this, marks in essay paper is also falling down for the majority, but not for all. There are still candidates who are getting quite impressive marks in essay paper, but a large number of the candidates are ending up with less than expected score. There are several reasons for this. I will take opportunity to share with you the reasons maybe in some videos later. Today, my focus is exclusively on essay topics in UPSC Mains 2025. There are certain characteristic features you may have already noticed, but still, I am sharing. First, not a single difficult word was there in any topic of UPSC Mains essay paper. Second, no essay topic can be said is too critical and too philosophical. Third, no difficult topic or so much twisted topic that you have to break your head to understand the primary meaning or basic focus of the topic. So there is nothing so difficult to unearth the meaning of the topic given this year. Fourth, broadly, you may find that you are agreeing with the basic message, basic content that is existing in the topic. Fifth, majority of the topics, if not completely, but substantively, linked to all that is happening around. Not something too remote from your understanding, from your reading, from your general wisdom, observation, experience. So somehow you can link with the topic easily. So therefore, we can conclude fairly that essay paper this year is easier comparatively. And every candidate could select easily the topics to write essays. Hope you agree with this. I hope that mains candidate this year will write excellent essays and will come out with good expected marks. But still, I have a little apprehension. Is it really correct to say, or it is absolutely correct to say that essay topics were comparatively easier? Or can we come to a straightforward conclusion that writing essay on any of these topics is comparatively easier? Before coming to the conclusion, there is a need to revisit, there is need to re-examine the topics. That is what we are going to do. Now let us review the topics so that we both sides we are we understand, we realize that yes, this is how the topics were. Now, as I said earlier, all topics are giving us a good message. So therefore, we have general agreement with the topic. Now, when a candidate is agreeing with the topic, then you'll have to develop that agreement with valid arguments, explanations, examples, insights. Is it not? Now, danger is when you are going in this direction, possibility of answer writing mode in the essay will increase. And if answer writing mode increases in a linear manner without taking perception building exercise along with it, then definitely essay's quality and strength will not enhance proportionately. In that case, it may become missing opportunity to write a good number fetching essay. With this understanding on the back of mind, let us just review the essay topics. It will not take much time. Let us see that how does it go. So these are the topics you all know. First topic is truth knows no color. Then the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Third, thought finds a world and creates one also. Fourth topic, best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. These four are in section 1. Out of this, you will have to select one. I don't think that any of the topic is giving you so much of jockeying. So therefore, selecting an essay topic out of these four, I don't think will be much of trouble for you. The other side, section B, there are 4 topics. Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. 6, the years teach much which the days never know. 7th, it is best to see life as a journey, not as a destination. And 8th, contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. Let us go to the first topic. Truth knows no color. We all agree that truth is truth. Okay. So why there will be a color? First thing in writing essay is to notice the words. So there are 4 words: truth knows no color. Fine. So we all, as I said, that we will all agree with it. So there is no problem in that. Now, truth is what? Now, truth is reality. Truth is fact. Truth is material condition. Truth is proven something or verifiable something. And color means here that indifferent, it is unbiased, it is non-prejudiced, it's objective, not subjective. Okay, this kind of uh, meaning will come. This kind of meaning will come from the words underlying in the topic. Now, truth is having no color. You'll have to open up. If you cannot open up, then what would happen? You have plenty of examples all around, and you will be enticed, you'll be tempted, to import those examples into your essay. And then it will look like little example heavy. Now you see other way. Okay, what is truth? Now, truth can be material truth, truth can be spiritual truth, and truth can be scientific truth. Fine. Now, truth is truth. Okay, it is undeniable, it is unchallengeable, and one need to adhere or accept what truth is. Now, truth is guided by your perception, your logic, your reasoning. That is how you see truth. If you see that this is a chair, that means you have certain understanding about chair, and you are attributing that logic and reasoning to understand, yes, it is a chair. So that is how we do. Now, if there is logic and reasoning to be applied, then how to apply those logic and reasoning? There has to be a system or systemic way to apply it. Now, if there is little problem in applying that logic or reasoning, or if there is any problem in that logic and reasoning itself, then truth can also be not a truth. It can be illusory truth, but not actual truth. Therefore, what you find it is a truth, it may not be truth. For example, that when Galileo was contradicting with the contemporary understanding of planetary movement, so he was contradicting with an existing truth by a new truth. Behind these two truths, there were different sets of logic and sets of reasoning, sets of perception. So, therefore, when your logic and reasoning becomes different, then your truth also comes out differently. Now, when you are coming out of that existing truth and you are establishing a new truth, then earlier truth can be said that was not free of color. It might not be intentional, but it had certain limitations. Therefore, the truth is dynamic, truth is logic. What Galileo did is a post-truth. Okay. So, existing truth and post-truth, that is what postmodern idea would say, that there is a post-truth. So, this way every time the concept of truth is progressing, and when it is progressing and looking back to the earlier truth, then I find it was a colored truth. So therefore, truth is dynamic. As long as new truth does not come, then old truth remains free of color. So in an absolute term, saying that truth has no color or knows no color, that may not be applicable in absolute meaning, but in relative meaning. So human beings have evolved like, peace as an alternative to war. So war was a reality, then peace is a reality. Then various scientific and technological innovations every day bringing out a new truth. And this is coming out of our wisdom, of our exercises. And that way, democracy at one point of time in the development of political discourse has come out a truth. Before democracy, there is another truth. And once various experiments on democracy is going on, then a new truth started coming up. So truth is therefore evolving and dynamic in nature. Now, what I have done, I have not denied it, but I have not answered it. I have taken opportunity of this topic, then I have tried to develop a dialogue, a discourse, and I have tried to engage into a conversation on the subject of truth and subject of color. And that is, what makes maybe essay more interesting, more more engaging. So let us go to the second topic now. Second topic says the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. So what does supreme mean here? Supreme means best, supreme means greatest, supreme means ultimate, supreme can mean highest. So supreme can have various meaning according to the context, according to the subject matter. And art of war means art of battle, art of war means art of fight, art of war means, uh, art of contention. Okay, so war here is battle, is war, is fight, is differences. Okay, so war can have various meanings. And then when you say subdue, you don't say you defeat. Don't say that you destroy, but you say subdue. Subdue means you pacify. Subdue means you put, that inimical entity into a bit of defensive position. Fine. So its aggressiveness is restrained, controlled through this, subdued approach. And that, that made enemy less dangerous, okay, less threatening, less fearful. That is what the topic says. Now let us see that what kind of war can be. There can be hard war, there can be soft war also. Now there can be cold war. We are all familiar with these words. There can be smart war also. So therefore, there can be different types of war, different forms of war, different manifestations of war. There can be war also between human and human. There can also be war between human and nature. There can also be war between human and, in today's context, AI. Now, therefore, war can have different expressions, different forms, and war can also be dynamic and evolving. It is not a constant understanding, but it is a changing understanding based on context, based on historical timeline, based on perspective. So several factors might be guiding our understanding and perception about war. Now, war can be at political level. When war at political level, its form and manifestation is different than war in economic level or war in socio-cultural level. Getting it? So, in one point or in one situation, you may require military intervention. In another situation, you may require a very strong logic and idea to counter an existing or a wrong idea, okay, or a destructive idea. So it depends upon, or a negative practice. So it depends upon situation. Now war can be sometime inward moving. That means you are fighting with yourself. Okay, you are fighting with yourself and you are changing yourself. Buddha did it. There are several great personalities have done it. King Ashoka has done it. So they have fought within themselves and they came out as a new personality. They came out as a new embodiment of idea and concept. Fine. And war also can be with external factors, external entities. So war can, have different kind of formation, different kind of expression, different kind of manifestations. Now what we use for war? We use for war can be or tools for war can be propaganda, can be espionage, can be diplomatic action, can be disarming others, can be creating fear, or can be diffuse attack, or confusing your inimical forces, or you hegemonize, dominate over it. So there can be different tools to be used in war. Now, in which case you will use them to subdue the enemy? That depends upon who is the enemy or what kind of enemy is and what kind of war is. So therefore, there are various ways to deal with this subject. In that case, the essay will have scope to expand the meaning of war, to open up the war, and in some cases, war may not require to subdue. Okay, war may require really to destroy. So why, the supreme art of war will be to subdue. Supreme art of war can be even destroy something. For example, terrorism. You'll have to destroy. You'll have to eradicate it today or tomorrow. Tuberculosis is a disease. You'll have to end it up. Why only subdue? Why you keep it, dormant so that tomorrow it can come again like Leviathan? It cannot. So sometime, subduing may not be the supreme art of war. Sometime maybe you have to go little more, depending upon the kind of enemy. For example, that do you think that Ram Mohan Rai should subdue the society at that time, or he should do all his possible, steps, possible means to destroy Sati system? Getting it? So therefore, sometime may not be subdue, but sometime, subduing may be required, or an anti-colonial movement by a colonized country. How come they subdue the colonial power? They'll have to just throw them out. So therefore, subdue can be sometime a strategy, sometime it may not be. For example, on climate change, now you'll have to take the measures so that climate change comes down. Okay, global warming comes down. So therefore, you'll have to work on subdue, work on how to minimize the impact. COVID-19, Okay, what government did, what the world institutions did, they try to see that the its chain is broken. Okay, so that its capacity to spread further is subdued. So sometimes subdue may work, but sometimes subdue may not work. Okay, this is, you see that how I am not disagreeing with it. I will definitely agree with it. I will write lot of things, but I will also try to write something which looks like, yes, it is interesting. Yes, it can also be, and that is my how my essay will be more interesting. Like today, the trade war is going on. There is no scope to destroy it, but you'll have to see that if the impact of it, okay, can be minimized, and you have to take various measures to see that you sail through this difficult time of trade war. So I hope that you got some insight, and we can move to the third topic. Third topic is thought finds a world and creates one also. Thought finds a world and creates uh, one also. Now, thought is, we all know that idea, concept, perception, query, search, and then finds means identifying. Finds means uh, to see it, okay, to catch it up. And then a world here is means a large space, a bigger community, a macro dimension. World is vast, so therefore it is saying that you create a larger, scope, larger opportunity, larger space, and this is how the essay says. Very simple way it has been framed. Now, uh, now whatever human will achieve, first it will come in the mind, come in the thought. Okay, now then that person will use his mind to create something different. Okay, uh, so thought finds a world. Okay, so thought through this idea then will create something. uh, Now, better is the thought, then greater is the achievement. This is a simple logic. And uh, now, uh, the resources may be created by nature, already it is existing. And now, because of human thought, that resources is coming with different utilities, different applications. So this is how it goes. Uh, Now, see the other way. See that thought and idea, can it be absolutely metaphysical? Now you see the topic, it says thought finds a world. It does not say that thought finds a new world. Now, how a thought will develop unless there is a world. That means unless there is already a material existence, human's thought will not develop. So human cannot exist in vacuum. It exists in a material entity. That means already it is in world. So it can create a new world. So thought will create a world, perhaps very abstract term. Okay, or maybe a very absolute way. Okay, it may not be so convincing, but it is. Okay, so actually there is, it tries to say a new world, but topic does not add that new. That means I'll have to attribute here that thought can create a new world and finds a new world, and it also creates a new world. That means through my thought I find all which is around. Okay, and I because that world is there. Now I am only finding it. Okay, I am, through this exercise I am finding this world, uh, and then I am creating a new world. I am attributing. So thought has to develop within a world, and then that world will be coming into prominence through that thought process. then an intervention will take place or a dialectical process will take place, and thought will start changing. Now, therefore, your mind will have dual role. One is that it is existing, it is interpreting the existing world, and it is creating a new world. So, a mind is simultaneously working for those. That is where this essay is interesting. This dual role of mind has a scope to be discussed quite interestingly or constructively here. And then as long as human being will be there, there will be thought. If a normal human being, so if there is a thought, this process is a continuing process. It is not one time process, it is not a regulated process, it is an inbuilt process, it is a spontaneous process. Okay, it is an inevitable, indispensable process with human existence. Now, when you are creating a world, now is it always a positive world? May not be. Okay, if your thought process is wrong, then you will create a wrong world. If your thought process is negative, then it will be a negative world. If your thought process is positive, then it will create a positive world. So, in the in the history of human civilization, you will see that many times many wrongs, okay, have happened. Why those wrongs have happened? Why those wrongs have been justified by the people of that time? Because that thought can create a world negatively also. It can find world negatively also. So, therefore, there can be a positive and negative dimension to this creation and finding. At the same time, now if somebody keeps on overthinking, now definitely thought will create, but overthinking may not be good. It may not create things properly, rather it may distort the visuality of the world around. It may also create a world which is not so helpful, not so uh, not so uh, useful for us. So, therefore, thought, I am saying in a very remote way, you can take even little bit on rational thinking, control thinking, and overthinking. Okay, that can also be another dimension. So, this is a comparatively easy topic. Next one, fourth one, best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. So, best lessons, best means greatest, okay, which is more useful, which is more effective. Lessons means learning, lessons means insight, experience, then are learned through bitter. Bitter means which is not so comfortable, which is harsh, which is unwanted. Okay, those kind of things are bitter, is a negative word. So, therefore, when you are learning something which is best, then you have to go through bitter experiences. So, that is, it says that means you will have to go through hardship. Okay, you will have to go through difficult process to learn the best thing in life. So, in most of the cases, this is certainly correct. Okay, unless you go through that difficult process, then you cannot learn things so constructively, so creatively. Okay, so therefore, this is to a great extent is a correct notion. Now, let us see other way, that what is based? Okay, what do we call based? Is it a static idea? It may not be static idea, is it not? Now, best is higher. Okay, best is greatest, best is most precious. Now, who will define who will best? Now, what was best for me yesterday, today it may not be best. I can remember so many things I was so possessive in my childhood, okay, that marble balls, okay, then kite, okay, then bicycle, so much possessive with those things. And now, they are, I'm not so possessive. I have become indifferent. So whatever I thought, that is best, did not remain best. Whatever I thought in my childhood, they are my best friends. Without them, I cannot survive. But over the periods, we all got scattered, we got, uh, here and there. So therefore the new bestness, okay, or new criteria or parameter for best have arrived. So that is how the best is evolving. Best can be a changing perception, and whatever is best today will be better tomorrow, or whatever is best today was not best yesterday. So that way, that best and better, and bad will constantly changing their position, their location. So therefore, best is time bound, best is situation bound. Okay, best is uh, in a uh, in a particular particular situation, its meaning may come differently. Learning, on the other hand, is a continuing process. We are constantly learning, even if we don't consciously learning, but we are learning. Okay, every day we learn. So therefore, learning, as he says that best lessons are learned. No, learning is a continuous process. Okay, constantly we are learning. If you are constantly learning, then you are constantly acquiring lessons. You are going through experiences. Question is, are really all the experiences have to be better for the best lessons? Cannot be. It is structured, it is systematic. For example, in UPSC civil service, somebody is becoming topper. Do you think that a topper, no, he got that best position because of the better experiences? May not be. Maybe he is systematic, maybe she is, hardworking, maybe she is more focused. So therefore, better may be a, too extreme one word. Okay, there is an extremity. So there is a scope to question it. There is a scope to converse on this, dialogue on this. Okay, and similarly, that who will define, okay, which lesson is the best lesson? Okay, who will decide? I will decide. How do I know that out of all my lessons, this is the best? This may be best momentarily. Okay, these may not be based permanently. Now, for example, I am just telling you that a woman, has become mother. She has, enjoyed motherhood. She has just, entered into that new identity of motherhood. Now, this may be the best lesson, that how this whole process of giving birth to a life, she has never experienced. She has learnt it. Now, why it will be bitter experiences? It may be enjoying. Are you getting my point? Or a person who is, doing some uh, maybe interesting experiments, and then learn, uh, then how does it work? Okay, there are so many discoveries in the initial stage of industrial revolution. So do you think that, all are bitter experiences? Perhaps not. Uh, for example, that, somebody has developed good skill, okay, in software application. Okay, why it has to be a bitter experience? It may be very systematic, focused, sustained, uh, scientific engagement with that subject. So bitter definitely has a scope of argument here. Okay, let us this is how four topics of the first section uh, are there, and as I have discussed, they apparently look interesting, apparently look agreement, but there is scope for further exploration of ideas. There is a scope for somewhere some disagreement, somewhere some, if not disagreement, some alternative views. some different views is possible, and you must explore this. Next is muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. So, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone, definitely. So, if you leave muddy water alone, then slowly there will be sedimentation, and then you will get clean water on the upper level, and mud will sediment toward the lower side. So, better not to disturb that muddy water. Now, this is this is a scientific thing. So, there is no need of questioning that. It is a truth without color. Now, leaving means here you don't do undue interference into that, you don't do which is not required. So, that is what is meant. Now, now whatever whatever you find is hazy, is non-transparent or opaque or not clear to you, if you give little time, if you wait little more, then you may see that level of visibility is increasing, or level of transparency is increasing, or things are becoming more tangible before you. So, this is a scientific, this is an universally acceptable proposition. So, therefore, there is no need of a questioning. So, we broadly will agree with this, fine. So, this part writing this part should not be a problem for any candidate, but I like to take you to another terrain also, just to evoke interest in you. Now, is it really universal truth that if you allow muddy water to remain on its own, then it will be cleaned? Now, river water is muddy water, okay? It is flowing through edges, but it is still muddy water, okay? So, that means in which condition that muddy water is functioning, in which state that muddy water is existing, that depends. So, whether you are interfering or whether leaving it alone, sometime muddy water can remain muddy because there are some other factors to become muddy. Okay, sometime maybe if you settle it, maybe there is a water in a particular pool and you are allowing it time, then it will settle and clean water will come on the surface, but it may not be universal truth. Okay, taking it as an universal truth is difficult. Therefore, there is a scope for dialogue, discourse and conversation on this topic, and that is exactly what is essay writing, that to find that opportunity, that how I can get engaged into it. Now, now depends on that what is the proportion of mud and what is the proportion of water in a muddy water. If water content is very less and mud is too much, and then you are leaving it alone, then by the time you will see that clean water is coming up, water content may not remain because vaporization of water will take place. So, therefore, finally you may lose even whatever water is existing there. In such cases, you have to make an informed intervention to clean that mud out of water and take the clean water out of it. So, that is true for a human thing. If a human you find that no, this person does not have enough time, I have to make immediate intervention, then you will have to intervene and rescue that person from that uneasiness, that clumsiness. But if you find no, okay, let that person be come out from his difficulties, okay, give him time, okay. So, both the situations, both the experiments are possible. So, you will have to see therefore in which situation, which one will be more appropriate, more applicable. Universality of application may not work here. So, sometime through natural process it can come out. Sometime maybe natural process will not work. Now, sometime allowing that muddy, mud to get settled so that, water comes out or the actual, scenario comes out, maybe too lengthy a process. In that case, you have to intervene. You have to see that through your forces, you can, weed out those unwanted elements and get whatever you require. So sometime you cannot leave it on its own to get settled down. You need an intervention. Sometime it may not need. That sometime where you need, that sometime where you don't need, why you don't need and why you need, that discourse, that conversation is the asset of this particular topic. Those who will be able to deal with it constructively with logic, reasoning, examples and insight, I believe they will certainly add quality to their essay. Sixth, the years teach much which the days never know. That means when you see a small thing, when you are in a small area, then you see less, okay. But when you passes through, when you get that, gray hair, you get that little, rough skin, and you get little less eye power, then you accumulate, more experience, more insight, more wisdom. You have seen many things. Therefore, your understanding, your capacity, your insight, your perception become different. I don't think any reason to question this. This is certainly true. Now, the years here means, a timeline. The years means that, your patience, okay, and it teach much, okay. So it does not say, that, days never know. It says that if you go through the long period, long time, then you learn much, okay. That doesn't mean that you don't learn otherwise, but you start learning more, okay, which the days never, know. So there it is giving, an absolute word, never. That means days never know, only years can teach you much. Now here much is a comparative word, okay. It does not say that the years only teach you, it says that years teach much, but days never know, okay. Now days is also a timeline, okay. Days is also a, moment in your life. Now years does not come without days. Within that years, lot of days are involved. That means a macro is having lot of micro components in it. Now without micro, that macro has no existence. So if you have some experience in years, then these are accumulation or addition or aggregation of small micro, segmented experiments or experiences or learning that you have acquired through different days. So every day therefore had added to your experience, then through years you got it. Now if you say that days don't know and never knows, okay, then how years will come to know? Years cannot get something out of the blue. So it has to be inductive. It has to come from the micro, and micro is days. Each day has given some insight. Sometime maybe we have consciously learned, sometime it might have influenced our sale in a dormant manner, in an implied manner, implicit manner, which we did not know. Later on, when a situation came, then we understand that yes, it was there. So therefore, days learning is also important, but definitely years learning is important. So therefore, there is a scope to discuss on never know. Fine. And in some cases, you may not have a second time to visit. You may have only a day to understand and learn it. There is no scope for years. So you will have to learn on that particular day, or you will never learn. So therefore, that day's learning, that day's experience is huge for you, or huge in one's life. There are, how to say, n number of examples on this, that when a day becomes so important in somebody's life. My seventh topic is, it is best to see life as a journey and not as a destination. So here, it is best to see life as a journey and not as a destination. Fine. This is how it goes. Now again, as I said, that best here means that, not greatest, but most preferred, most appropriate. Meaning of the best in earlier topic and best here is a slightly different. To see life as a journey. Now, what does life mean here? Okay, that is important, how to define life. I believe that no candidate will get problem to define life here. Life is a process, okay. Life is not merely anatomical existence, but life is existence with your ideas, with your activities, with your function. So altogether is life here. I believe that this will not give you trouble, and it is a journey and not as a destination. So finally, that life itself is not the destination, but the way you are journeying. For example, yes, a group of mountaineers are going to, scale Mount Everest. So reaching the peak of the Everest mountain is definitely a destination, but whole journey, in a base camp, then you are proceeding, then so many things are happening. That is hugely contributory, hugely, rich experience. Okay, altogether is a journey towards the peak of Everest. It is not that you are mechanically going and landing there. So every step, so many experiences, so many days, you are learning new things. Every step is giving you new insight, new experience, new challenge. So, therefore, that life is a journey, okay, and it is not a destination. So not as a destination. So if the topic does not say that destination is not a life, but destination is also a life, but it is better to say, it is best to see that life as a journey. So it does not contradict. Okay, it does not say that destination is not life and only journey is life, but it only makes a comparison that destination is best, is on, recall, is important, is significant, but journey of life is most precious. Fine. Now destination here is ultimate aim. Destination here is ultimate objective. Now it tries to say there are two sets of goal. One is that, you are trying to reach somewhere. Another is that you are existing in your presence. When you are existing in your present, then it is a journey. And where you will be reaching, what you will be aiming, which is not yet come, so that is your reach, that is your ultimate goal or ultimate destination. That is how it is saying that you cannot make a journey without having a destination, or you cannot have only destination but not a journey. So, these combination of these two is life. That is what it says, and it says that no, destination is important, but if you see the journey, then that is always precious. Now, so one group may find no, destination in life is important. Another group of person may find no, journey is important. Now, if some people think that destination is important, you cannot say they are wrong. If some people find that journey is important, you cannot say that is also wrong. So, both the things can be simultaneously true, can be true, simultaneously, parallelly. Actually, in this essay, there is a hidden message that, if you think that, destination is the ultimate meaning of life, then you may lose that all is happening in your life, and you may end up as a sad person, as a frustrated person, as a person with a feeling of deprivation. Now, your destination can be illusory, can be unscientific, can be unachievable. It is not that the fault always lies with you. Fault can be external, fault can be circumstantial. So, you may not achieve all your destination, but if you achieve, and that is better, that is good, but you may not achieve all. Now, if you think without achieving your destination your life becomes meaningless, life becomes, frustrating, then you are losing even what is precious for you, what is enjoying for you. So, better you see that, journey of life every day. Actually, you are reaching a new milestone, you are making a new achievement, and you appreciate them, you accommodate them, okay, you live with them. So, this is how it tries to give a positive, uh, positive message, and I believe that lot of ethical components can be infused in this topic, because it talks about meaningful life, it talks about various facets of life. So, when you are interpreting them, when you are elaborating on them, uh, ethical perspective can help you to do, like, Gandhi says that greed and need, those kind of things, that you don't go for only for wealth, only for, but whatever is there, you you enjoy it, you respect it, you accommodate it. So, this feeling will come through your ethical sense. So, I think there is a scope for attributing principles, values, morality, virtues into this topic. Last topic of this year's essay paper is interesting. Contentment is natural wealth and luxury is artificial poverty. So, contentment means satisfaction, contentment means solace, contentment means your happiness. Okay, so it is peace, and luxury means which is more than your rational need, balanced need, which is extravagant, okay, which is excessive demand. So, that is where luxury comes. So, it is making a contrast between your, happiness on one side, and, exorbitant demand on the other side. So, this is what actually a debate between Jeremy Bentham and J.S. Mill. So, Jeremy Bentham was trying that, there is either pleasure or pain, and J.S. Mill said no, it is not quantum, but it is qualitative. Happiness is most important than quantum. So, therefore, you may be unhappy even after getting a lot, and you may be happiest even getting a very little. So, therefore, do not always go for quantum, pleasure and pain, but you go for happiness. So, a nice, discourse, a nice dialogue can be opened up based on these perception on this topic. And when you are saying that it is luxury is an artificial poverty, poverty means that expectation, that unfulfilled dream. Poverty means, it is an unattained dream. Okay, that means whatever was your expectation, it has not yet fulfilled, it has not yet reached. That kind of thing you are saying. Uh, Now, how to draw issue is that definitely we all agree with it, that we should not go for an illusory dream, an unnecessary dream. We should be practical, we should be pragmatic. So contentment is natural wealth. So whatever we have, if we are happy with that, then it is integrated into me. Okay, I feel comfortable with it, and if I go for those which are unfulfilled dream, then unnecessary inviting tensions and anxiety. uh, Now, no, you take example for of Buddha. Okay, so Buddha was was a prince. He could be a king, but then he abandoned it. He remained satisfied with whatever he was, and he created wonderful world because of this. He gave us wonderful message which has been surviving for last more than 2600 years. So therefore, one side is luxury of artificial poverty, another side is contentment is a natural world. He accepted it, he embraced it, he volunteered, he on volition he has gone into this life. So it's a very good message. A lot of ethical components are definitely uh, present in this topic. Now you take the other side. So one way essay can move in this direction. Another side, you see that uh, a person who is jobless today, who is unemployed, okay, that time now his dream is that how to secure employment and regular earning. So that is his immediate objective. Okay, and this is contentment, is natural wealth. He is happy when he gets employment, he gets a regular earning, he is absolutely happy. Now if he remains happy with that, then over the years he will develop stagnation. He will not grow further because he does not have any other dream, because whatever he is earning and his basic needs are met, and he is happy. Now if persons are happy with that, then society will not progress further. New invention, new discoveries will not come. Therefore, these contentment is relative. You have to be satisfied, but you should not be fully satisfied. You must still build up new opportunity for contentment, new opportunity for happiness, and that should be rational, that should be logical. You can remember when Gandhi was interpreting the concept of Swaraj against modernity, then in one interview he says, no, I am not against modernity. When people think that there is a need of will, then need based modernity must be welcome. But when modernity is imposed on me, which I did not require, but those who are imposing it is their requirement, then I am opposing to it. Getting it? So now one is that it is your own realization, it is your own life experiences through which you are creating new scope, new opportunity for contentment. When you are creating that new area, new domain where opportunity is better, then it is luxury, is artificial poverty. Now, will you say that it is luxury? We may not say. Like a person who is in job, employment for some time, now is thinking that if I get a promotion, if I can get better earning, if I get better earning, then I can give better education to my children. I can stay in a better house. I can live in a better way, in a little comfortable way. I can have little better food. There is nothing wrong in that. So if he is satisfied whatever is present, then he is stagnated, he is static, he is not changing, he is not growing, he is not developing. So therefore, for development, you have to always go for some kind of hunger created within you. Now that hunger, can it be always termed an artificial poverty and luxury? May not be. So therefore, differentiating between what is contentment and what is luxury is difficult. So scope for argumentation in this area is present, while that contentment and unnecessarily greedy unnecessarily ambitious, that there you can infuse a lot of ethical sense. So this topic is very interesting because it has scope for narratives, it has scope for agreement, it has scope for argument, ethical, discussion, discourse. So it is a very interesting essay. So therefore, unless you have some, restlessness inside, then you cannot grow, then civilization cannot progress. Every time civilization tried to achieve something, until it is achieved, then there is a hunger. Okay, there is a restlessness that, I am looking for it, but I am not getting. So that is an artificial poverty, but that artificial poverty may not be a luxury. Getting it? Now, terming it luxury, sometime it can be done, sometime it may not be proper. Okay, that is where the, nuances of this essay, that is where the possibility of making essay interesting is there. Definitely, extravaganza in life is unwanted. Okay, we have seen that Warren Buffett, in spite of having, huge property, possibility of having a luxurious life, he maintains a simple life. Okay, his contentment, okay, he has maintained. So contentment is natural wealth. He has maintained it. Okay, but he has, he has all the luxuries. He has achieved it. Okay, he did not, keep it aside because it is artificial poverty, because it is luxury, I will not do. He has achieved it, but at the same time, he has not given up his simplicity. I believe that maybe a good message to give through this essay. Thank you. This is in brief my review of these essay topics. I will be happy to interact with all of you further, and whenever you have, or if you have any questions, definitely you can post and you will get, response in time on that. Wish you all the best. Thank you.